All right, I'm Danny Jorgenson. My friends know me as Buck Nutty, and Matt and I are buddies. Matt's the starter of the Minnesota Hunting Club, and I'm his partner in crime, the silent partner in crime. And I'm going to tell you the story about how Matt and I, when I guess the seed was planted for the Minnesota Hunting Club, we just didn't know it at the time. Um, I was going to go up north bow hunting. I'd only bow hunted just a couple times. I just had the bow the year before. I was a rookie hunter, and this story, by the way, is going to be kind of long. Just bear with it. We made mistakes, horrible mistakes that I would never ever recommend to anybody. Okay, but hey, what do? We were rookie hunters even 4 years ago. We didn't know. I didn't know. He didn't know. Um, but what ended up happening was I was going to go up north. I have access to 240 acres up by Big Fork, Minnesota, and it's open woods. No food plots, no corn, no nothing. It's a wooded area, and I had access, so I'm going to go up there and I'm going to hunt with a buddy of mine. And we were leaving on a Friday. We were going to come back on a Sunday, and he backed out late Wednesday. I had no backup plan. I had nothing. So right away I started calling all my hunting buddies to see who can go with. At the time, especially, there was no real phone connection up there. There was no texting. Texts were sporadic at best. The phone connection was horrible, if at all. And I can't go up there alone. If anything were to happen up there, I mean, you know what it's like when you're hunting. Anything can happen, and I'm definitely not going to go up there by myself. So I call all my hunting buddies that I could Wednesday night, early Thursday. I even called my brother in Chicago or Peoria or whatever, Illinois. I was looking for anybody that could come and hunt, and I couldn't get a soul to commit to it on that short a notice. I started calling non-hunters. Thursday afternoon, I'm in a panic that I'm not going to be able to go. And Matt and I, we were friends. We weren't BFFs swapping spit or nothing, but we were like buddies. So he was one of the guys that I called, and he was the first guy that right away, he's like, yeah, you know what? I think I'd like to do that. And I'm like, oh, freaking sweet. And he goes, I've never hunted before. Not a problem. Not a problem. You just come along. We'll take care of everything. So he checked with the better half, and she gave him the go ahead. 5 minutes later, he calls me back. He says, I'm in. We're doing this. I'm like, oh man, thank goodness. My hunting weekend is saved. And so we do our shopping on Friday. We're driving up there Friday night, and we're talking, and he borrows a bow. And he says, hey man, you really got to check out this bow. It's a little janky. I don't know. The guy said that there's something, and I'm not a problem. And I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I like Matt and everything, but I get to hunt, okay? I don't care about his problems. And, I don't have a release. And I'm like, that's all right. We got to stop at Walmart. We're going to pick up your hunting license anyway. We'll pick up the release while we're there. So we stop at Walmart, and he wants to buy the cheapest release out there. I don't care. You know what I mean? I get to hunt. It doesn't matter to me. Let's just go. So we pick up, we get his license, we get everything squared away. We drive up there. There's no electricity up there. So by the time we get up there, it's got to be like 10 o'clock at night. We get the furnace going. We have to get the generator going. You know what I mean? Get everything up and ready. And so it's about 11 o'clock at night, and he's like, hey man, you really should check out this bow. I'm telling you, man, it's like really janky. And so he takes it out of the case. It has no sights on it. There's no, release loop on it. And I'm like, Matt, this bow is not ready for hunting. I mean, it's not ready. You shouldn't use this bow. And he's like, whoa, I didn't come up here to just sit around. If you've ever hunted like big woods, you know that the odds of seeing a deer are, maybe you'll see one, but to get one within shooting range, I'm kind of thinking, all right, fine, he goes out in the woods, odds are he sees a deer, what are the odds of him being able to shoot it? Well, let's just get him out in the woods, and who cares? Just make it an experience for him. I get to go hunt where I want to hunt. Whatever, I don't care. So, he comes up with this idea. I'm like, dude, you can't aim that frickin' thing, And here's where the mistakes start for us. He says, let's take your bow, okay, and put an arrow across it, and wherever the arrow's level, and we'll level out the string, we'll do the same to his bow, and then we'll mark where the arrow should be, if that even makes sense. I don't even know if that actually makes sense. So what we did is we took a level, and we leveled out his arrow, and then the string going down, and we matched it up to mine, and where the arrow was level, we took a marker and we scribed above and below where the arrow was, and then he was going to put the release on the freaking bowstring underneath. And I told him, hey man, the bowstring can snap from this, you know? And as I said, I would never ever recommend this now. Even if I had somebody like that now, I would have done something different, but once again, I didn't care. So I tell Matt actually puts it on there, and I tell him, hey, the bowstring can snap, you can do some damage. He's well aware of it. I don't care, let's go hunting. And we're indoors, mind you. He puts his release with the arrow on. He draws back in the freaking shack, and he aims the bow or the arrow at a doorknob, like 15 yards away in the hunting shack. And he's like, oh yeah, this thing's right on the money. This is right on. And he like lets it back down, and my heart's still in my throat from watching him draw back, you know, indoors. And I'm like, yeah, it's right on the money. And he's going, oh, I'm smoking a deer tomorrow, dude. I'm gonna smoke a deer. I'm like, okay. Again, not thinking what are the odds. So the next morning we go out. He goes out in this one stand, and we have shooting lanes cut in. It's mainly meant for gun hunting, but all the lanes, the shooting lanes, all meet at a point about 17 yards from the stand. It's a great stand. We shot more deer out of that stand than any other stand up north. And I'm going to trek all the way on the other side of the property. It's probably a good 20, 25 minute walk if you're taking your time, maybe even a half hour. I walk all the way to the other side of the property. I set up. We agree that we're going to come in at whatever time. So we come in, and we're walking in, and Matt's like all freaking salty. Okay, now Matt confided in me. He's never hunted before. He's never shot a bow before. He's never done any of this before, right? So to him, everything's a learning experience. And as we're walking in, he has the nerve to say to me, oh, I don't like that spot. It's a crappy spot. And I'm like, what's bad about it? Well, I want to hunt in a field. Like this field over here, that's where the deer are going to be, or in a field. Because when I'm driving, that's where I see the most deer, out in a field. And I'm thinking, yeah, or I even said, yeah, Matt, because that's what deer like to do, is stand out in the open where all the wolves and people and all the predators can see them. They love that. That's what deer love to do. And kind of mocking him, and he doesn't get it. And we go in, we have this huge breakfast, which is, if you've ever been at a really good hunting camp, you either have no food or you have the best food. And what we do the best. So we have this huge breakfast, more food than two men should ever eat. We decided we're going out early. We're going to go out in the afternoon. We're going to go out a little early. I think it was getting dark at about 7 o'clock. So we, it was like 7 o'clock at night. We were going to go out. So we're kind of working off the food. We go outside. We shoot some guns off. What did you have? The AR, right? It was an AR. We're firing off this AR. Oh my goodness. If you haven't, I highly suggest it. They're unbelievably fun. Some handguns. I sighted in my 30-06 for the gun season coming up. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. So if there were any deer in a 2-mile radius, I'm sure they were long gone. But hey, that's what you do at hunting camp, right? So we're walking back out, and I go, well, there's your field. You know what I mean? Hoof it into the field. And Matt's like, well, you really wouldn't hunt there. I'm like, no, I would sit. If you hunt there, I'm hunting where you hunted this morning. Because that's the best stand on the property. It's where we shot the most deer. That's where I'm hunting. And he pauses and he goes, are you serious? I go, I'm dead serious. That's what I would do. And he goes, fine, I'll go over there. Like giving in. And again, oh my goodness, just driving me nuts, right? So he sits there. I walk all the way and I take my time. You know what I mean? Not quite still hunting, but I'm taking my time. So it takes me a good 30, 40 minutes to get down where I want to hunt. I set up. I sit down. I'm all set up. I got my tree stand set up. I'm ready. Got my bow. I'm set. Pull the mask on. The whole works. My phone rings. It rings. Well, it rings, it vibrates. I look, it's Matt. And I answered. Now, number one, I'm shocked that the phone rang, so I'm like, hello? And it's Matt, and he's hysterical, and the phone's breaking up, and it's like, I shot it, I'm serious, I don't know what to do, you gotta get over, click, phone cuts out. And I'm like, is he messing with me, or what? I mean, does he know how far I freaking walked to get over here? And so I'm sitting there debating what to do, and then my phone, I look, bombarded with text messages, and I wish I could have saved them, because it was, I just shot an effing deer, I don't know what to effing do. Then the next one is, I'm dead effing serious. Then the next one was, what the F do I do? And then the next one is, get the F over here. And I'm going, oh my goodness, he better be serious, because I'm going to be pissed if I walk. So I double time it. I can't remember if I left the bow. No, I didn't leave the bow. I took the bow with. Left the backpack, left everything over there. I left some nuts over there that were gone when I came back. Some bastard squirrel took them. And I double time it all the way across the property, right? Book over there, and there's Matt in the tree stand, hands on his knees. Where have you been? I shot him. I shot a deer. I smoked him. And I'm going, whoa, how do you know he's right over there. It's right over there. I'm like, how do you know it's over there? How do you know? And he goes, because I heard it going, bah. I'm going, well, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. And I look over and I'm like, where'd you shoot? Right where you're standing. I'm like, Matt, there's no blood. There's no nothing, man. And he goes, it went that way. And I look, and it's a freaking murder scene. I mean, it really is. You know, he smoked this freaking deer, right? And so I don't want to hog away those of you who have trailed wounded deer. I don't know. I like it. I think that there's a cool, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of fun. So I get Matt to come down. I say, all right, man, that's your deer. I want you to like look for it, to track it. I'm gonna stay on the road and follow along. And we ended up tracking that thing. Gosh, it was probably a good 40 yards. And when we came to the end of the trail, I'm looking for the deer. I don't have the picture. I thought I had the picture of the deer in here. Here it is. We come to the end of the trail and we find this bad boy. Matt, can you see that in there? That's what we find. He shot it in the flipping jugular. That's like no joke. That's a real shot. I didn't emphasize that. I didn't do anything. I didn't filter that photo, nothing. That's actually a photo of the deer down on the ground. And that was it. Matt was excited. Matt actually, I remember him thinking that I would be jealous that he shot something and I didn't. And that's not it. Oh my goodness, I was thrilled. You know, the second best thing other than shooting a deer is having somebody with you shoot a deer. It's unbelievable. It's a great feeling. So I showed him how to gut it, everything. It was a learning experience, and he was a sponge. And what we didn't know is that was actually the day that the Minnesota Hunting Club started. We didn't know. That was 4 years ago or whatever. That's where the seed was planted. We didn't know that it was going to be watered and you know, we were going to get the sunlight that it needed, but it was germinating, and it germinated for 4 years. And Matt and I, we hunt as often as we can. We're better. We're a lot better than we were back then. The mistakes we made that day, I would never make them again. I wouldn't suggest that to anybody. And I know some people think that it was unethical or immoral. I get it. I'm not opposed to accepting that argument. But Matt and I, this is our passion. This is what we want to do, and what we're planning on doing next year. And I hope I'm okay by letting this out of the bag. Next year, what Matt and I want to do is we want to bring a brand new hunter out in the woods with us, and we want them to experience the hunting experience, the whole thing, beginning to end, hunting camp, not just taking them over here down the street to, you know what I mean, and hunt for a morning or an afternoon. We want to do a weekend. We want to take somebody with. we have a couple people in mind that have never hunted before but have expressed an interest in hunting. So I'm excited to do that, and I think we're gonna challenge some of you people to think about that too. Take somebody who's a non-hunter out, because I did it, and I now have a club that I'm part owner of or whatever, and it's fantastic. It's a who knows where it's gonna lead. So challenge you guys to do the same thing. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry that I took so much of your time. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the website.